Skunked Out Racing, you guys saw we went out for our first drive and it went amazing. Today, you guys can see we have the rear end completely ripped apart, and that's all sitting on the ground. We got it all sanded down. Everything over here is pretty much ready for paint. Just got to finish up some masking. Got the rear differential sitting over here. But we have some goodies over here that we're going to be throwing on the car. So over here we have our rear grip kit from FDF. This will be helping all the rear adjustability of the car. This kit comes with giant billet knuckles, and there's so much adjustability on this. It has all these cam plates on the sides, all the adjustable arms. We have a rear disc bushings for the car. Pretty much everything to make the rear of the car great. So coming back over here, just got to finish getting everything prepped under here and ready for some paint. All right, boys, rear end is painted.
Like bing, bop, boom, 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 bop, bam. The type of shit I'm on you wouldn't understand.
So with that done, we're pretty much ready to start putting in our FDF rear grip kit. And we got a couple more packages here. In this box, what do we got? We got our rear diff cover to go on our freshly painted differential. So I just painted it with the cover on. You can take that off, put our Z1 vented cover on. That'll be all set. But the big news is in the other box. So in here, this is what you guys have all been waiting for. This is our newest sponsor on the build. As I was saying, apparel.com is our newest sponsor for the car, and they hooked us up with some badass 8300 Penske shocks for the car. So this is their triple adjustable shock. We got some nice springs on there. These are gonna be badass. I cannot wait to put these on and show you guys on the car. So with all that being said, let's start putting this stuff on. All right, so we finally just got the rear differential in. We fought this for a long while. All the bushings were just being a pain in the ass and nothing would line up right. So we got our FDF rear diff brace. It's just sitting here for now. Next, we're going to hang all the FDF rear arms so we can get the centric lockout bolts in this. Get the rear diff brace completely in and the two rear arms hanging off so we can start putting everything else on the car. So I just want to show you guys real quick, we did finish one side. I'll be doing step by step on the passenger side, but we got one side completely in, just so we know what we're doing when I'm explaining the video. Got the shock in, it looks good. We kind of have a rough idea where we're gonna put the reservoir, but looks good. So now we're gonna go step by step. We did the front too. That was all we had to do is the upper control arm and put the shock in. But that all looks good. So we'll get to putting the other side together.
Get the subframe connector out, because we need to get to this link bar, this mount that's in here, and you can't get to this back of the bolt without taking this subframe bracket off. So we took that off, and now we blasted the nut off for this, and this is basically I gotta hit it with an air hammer to get it out. That's the mount that we had to take out of there. And come over here. You got 3 links that hold the back that come with the kit. And this will be replacing it. So you got to get this sucker out of there so you can put this one in. This is your track arm. Alright, so that's your track arm or traction arm. Come to the other side. I can explain them all. It's your track arm. It's your camber arm. This is your tow arm. But also on your upper basically A-arm, you have adjustments here, which will also change your caster, camber, all that. So every arm is all really adjustable. All right, you got the upper A-arm mount. It's relocating this mount point from this low point to a higher point to keep the A-arm at a flat level. And we watched the video and it does work. You can fit this in here. You got to be really real careful of your brake lines, but it will go in here. It just takes some playing around to get it. And then since we still have this, the whole rear of the car, this mount undone, we got a little bit of the subframe here. We got a little bit of play, so it gives you a little bit more room to play with this. We just did one on one side at a time, so the whole thing isn't falling, but it's pretty much in there now. And there's gonna be a spacer tube here, another bolt that's gonna go in there. All right, next step's putting this upper control arm in. I've adjusted this for this one to be all the way out, this one to be all the way in, and you need to do that to keep this straight with the axle shaft. All right, once you get this kind of bolted in position, keep it loose, because you're gonna pull it back out again, because this area right here, you need the clearance and bend this tab out so you have full motion, or this will hit that. So you gotta bend that out. All right, clearanced. All right, in the kit, they give you the hardware for this new bracket, upper and lower bolts, but for the rear, they don't. So we just use the factory bolt. So on the hub, this is your upper shock mount. You're going to want to make sure this is threaded in as far as possible, because you want to get your shock, a coilover, away from the inside of the bucket. Ours is really close. So I wanted this as close as I can out this way for room around the spring. All right, we're gonna put the hub on. It shows in the video hanging it from the shock. The problem with our Penske shock, the distance in here, it's a little tight, so I gotta kind of shave down the ends a little bit, these spacers, because it's a little too fat. So I hang it on the A-arm, and it works just as good. Putting all these at the center pin. Start with. All right, now we're putting the camber arm in. Notice there's two different sides to this. We're putting the bigger side towards the front of the car. And then we didn't get hardware for this or lockout tabs, so we're just using the centric bolt, which will be just as good. And when you adjust this, you're gonna wanna have the cam all the way outwards, as far out as the arm can go, and then lock it down. All right, we're running in the center position, everything in the center. All this stuff you can tighten. You just want to keep your tow arm disconnected. Makes it easy to put the axle shaft in. I like to tighten all the arms just so you can run it through the motions. And it's pretty snug, so wherever you put it, it's gonna just stay. And then there's plenty of room to get the axle shaft in there.
Next step is you're gonna put your shock in. We needed two people to get the bolts in, so I didn't record putting it in. And you're gonna wanna hook it up here with your two
Miscellaneous spacers. On ours, with these Penskes, this open mouth here was a little tight, so I had to grind the end of those down a little bit on the other side to make that fit. So we'll have to do that now. So grinding these down flat, best way I found, put a bolt in here exact. So when you do grind this flat, it keeps spinning, so it makes it almost perfect. I had to take about a 1/16 of an inch off of it just to get it to slide, the shock fork to slide over them. So on this upper bolt for your shock, you're gonna have to steal one from your suspension stuff. That's what we stole, because it doesn't come with any hardware to bolt the shock onto this. And your existing hardware on a stock shock, it's welded, the nuts welded to the factory shock. So I stole the back of the spring bucket ones, got a perfect length. All right, time to install the hub. We put long studs on ours. Axle time.
All right, after we got the drive shaft in, now you can finally put on your last arm. This is your toe arm, hooked to the bottom, and we're gonna be mounting it in the top hole.
Yes, for the least amount of toe gain.
Well, that's pretty much it. This side of the rear grip kit is on, and now we have the whole rear end complete. It's looking awesome back here. Everything's super adjustable. Looks badass. It's gonna be really nice for on track, easy adjustment. Can't wait to sit this thing on the ground. Now we're gonna work on the front. On the other side, we have our nice arms in here and our new shocks. And on the other side, we still got nothing. So we're gonna take this arm off and put the new shock in. All right, so we got the brakes and brake calipers on in the rear. Now all we have left to do is slap the booty meats on and see how awful of a job we did. All right, moment of truth.
One eternity later.
It's stuck on the lift. Oh my God. That is badass still, even though it's stuck. Yeah. Woo. Oh yeah, she is low. Hell yeah. That looks good. Yeah, we didn't do half bad of a job. Actually, everything lines up really good. That looks awesome. Hell yeah. Yes, sir. Let's go. We might be able to put them spacers on there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So we have 10mm spacers for the rear, and I think we might be able to use them. Because we flared the fender, you guys can see we flared it like 1.5 inches. But, hell yeah.
We got 15mm.
15mm spacers up front.
We needed that to clear these massive calipers right here. The distance between here, right there.
See if I can get the camera in there. You guys can see it's close.
Yeah. Because these calipers, they're super wide this way. It's to get the heat away from the rotor.
Oh yeah, this is looking sick. Well, let's see if we can get it off the lift, and then I'll give you all an update. It's on the ground. Holy smokes. This thing looks sick. I can't believe how low it is. This thing looks gnarly. We did end up throwing the 10mm spacers we have for the rear. Oh my God, it looks so good. Hell yeah. Oh man, this is sick. Yeah, that looks mean. Hell yeah. I've never seen it this low before, so I'm stoked.
Low.
Yeah, it's super low.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, this thing is awesome. Hell yeah. Well, let me know what you guys think. I'm speechless. It is so low. Yeah, let me know what you guys think in the link or in the description in the bio. Fluffy. It's fluffy. She says peace. Sorry for being a little speechless there at the last clip, but at the end of every video, I'm gonna start answering questions from previous videos. So I got asked in the last video, how did we make the fender bow in like it does here? So if you see under here, we cut the top of the fender back all the way to the Z logo. And then we stuck a piece of wood behind here, right where it starts to bend. And then we just folded it in. And then we took a piece of sheet aluminum and we just cut it to fit this little hole here. And then bent the edges in, pop riveted in. And that's the way it looks. Rounded it off everywhere. And that's where we get the look to getting the tire poking out. So that was the main question I got in the last video. If you guys have any more questions, I'll answer them in the end of the next video. So like, comment, subscribe, go check out the social medias, and peace.